Hi, this is Bernice with Beyond the Written Page. Today I wanted to talk about one of the questions that people often ask about books, and that is, how long did it take to write? And for each book, that's going to be different because the process is different and all the parts of the story and everything else come together different. But for The Very Hungry Duck, the story itself is a rhyme, and the rhyme came all at once, probably less than 15 minutes. And so I had that part of it all together, and I wasn't sure on the characters. At first I imagined it being maybe a little girl, and the characters who came and took the fruits were maybe her older brothers or friends or other people. But I imagined them as being bigger than she was. But then I went to the store and actually bought fruit because my plan was to set up scenes with maybe kids and the fruit and take pictures of that transpiring. And so I had the fruit, and it had been a few days, and my kids wanted to eat the strawberries, imagine that. And I hadn't invited any of their friends over yet. So what I did is I just ran down and I raided my daughter's toy box, and I got some of her different stuffed animals. And so I used those with the fruit and took different pictures and kind of put that together as the story. And then I submitted that to the freelance editor that I've been working with, Patty Lee, and we talked about that, the awesome parts of it and the parts that needed some tweaking. And so I realized I needed to do the illustrations, and that was, so in January is when I started putting that all together and took the pictures. And then by early February, when I decided, I had the deadline I gave myself for the ebook was February 20th because that would have been my Grammy's birthday. And so I had 2.5 weeks from the time when I thought, oh, I can draw a duck, to when that initial deadline was. And so it was that 2.5 weeks, and everything, all the time that I had to invest, I was just working on that day and night, and I got that done, and I was tired, and I decided I didn't want to do the print book. But 2 weeks had gone by. I'm like, well, no, I want to, and I had set up a time to do my first book signing up in Bonners Ferry, which is my hometown. That's in Bonners Ferry, Idaho, for April 4th, I think it was. And so anyway, I worked on the illustrations and getting everything ready to submit and learning how to change things so that it would be ready for to submit the file for a print version of the book. And I got the box of books in at Bonners Ferry the day before the book signing, so it was kind of squeaking, but we got it all done. So from the beginning of starting to work on planning out the illustrations and the layout, that was early in January, and then the book signing was early in April. So that's 4 months. Which, when you're self-publishing like I did, that process can be faster, just in the fact that it's not waiting, the parts of the project aren't waiting on somebody's desk for them to get to it next. And then when I did the second edition for The Very Hungry Duck and did the illustrations digitally, that process took about 2 months because almost everything was in place. And it was just redoing illustrations digitally and tweaking the layout and just those kind of things.